Hi guys, my name is Nonema Tikela. Welcome to the afternoon session where we are talking about the evidence of General Khumalo as he was continuing with his testimony during the Madlanga Commission. Evidence leader Adila Asim asked him why there was a spike in political killings in 2022 and it was no in line with patterns linked to elections. And then he said a new pattern of killings emerged linked to coalition governments. He says councillors may be approached to vote in a particular direction, and if they refuse, they may be physically targeted and be killed. And then Khumalo referred to a table that recorded that of 401 political killing suspects, 122 were in custody, 45 on a bail, 16 became so-called Section 204 implicated witnesses, 19 were deceased, 34 found not guilty, 33 were found guilty, and 82 charges were withdrawn. And then he also confirmed that the table did not include the 40 cases, and a new set of table was handed up but not projected, so we could not see their contents. According to Khumalo, he wanted to highlight 5 cases that prove that the political killings task team is really effective when it is implemented and slams misinformation that suggests otherwise. In the Magaqa case, Khumalo said that SEPS managed to get everyone that was involved. There was a glitch that prevented the table from being shown, so they took a short break so that it can be sorted, and then when we come back it was corrected. And then Khumalo said the former mayor of Perigwala region, Mluleki Ndobe, was identified as being the person who had ordered the hit on Sindiso Magaqa. He shot himself on the day that his firearm was returned to him in 2020, Khumalo said. So we have Advocate Adila Hasim and Matthew Chaskalson at the Madlanga Commission. And then Lieutenant General Khumalo was the one that was testifying. And then Khumalo said that Undobe insisted that because he had been released by a court order, he was entitled to get his gun back. When the 46-year-old got it back, he took his own life. What a coward, but he was busy sending people to be killed. Speaking about the murder of a DA councillor in Umgeni, Khumalo said the political killing task team only needed to track down the firearm used in the killing. Khumalo said there was a misinformation that the political killing task team was not willing to work together with AfriForum private investigators. He said the team did not see the reason why the municipality would contract private investigators for payments, whereas there is a free service by government to investigate the case of the councillor, which was waste of money, wasteful expenditure. He says the case took longer than usual to resolve because of AfroForum's private investigators were acting not far away from defeating the ends of justice and obstructing the political killing task team from doing its own work. Khumalo then said the motive for the 40 murders and attempted murder were found to be fraud and corruption. And then he also mentioned that the political killing task team has achieved a remarkable so in dealing with contract killings of any nature. The higher number of people arrested and the convicted was illustration of this success, he said. He also claimed that there were no formal complaints against the political killings task team, but the same accusations were recycled in the media when the news of the unit's disbandment broke in January this year. He does not want to go into details about why a political killings task team named Dlamini was withdrawn from the team and later convicted of defeating the ends of justice. I want to come back to that Dlamini story. I'm going to do another video. I hope I don't forget. And then Khumalo then moved on to the alleged infiltration of the country's criminal justice by DRUG cartels. He said, so the crime syndicate, which are below the levels of cartels, are increasing their network that then will be based at a local level up to the international stage. Among these cartels, which are made up of different syndicates, there is one identified in the country known as Big Five, which has since been identified as being very sophisticated, and it has got widespread influence, and it's involved in a broad spectrum of illicit activities. Uyabona ke apha, that's when aqale khona ukudedela izigaxa. Skaxa, after this skaxa, because I felt like the entire day, this man, we just want izigaxa. Haike, after he started with this part, udedele izigaxa kwayovalwa kwada kwaba ngu-4 o'clock. And then he said it has a head office. I was like, huh? A criminal syndicate in a head office, uti a cartel in a head office as a Gauteng, being the economic powerhouse of the country, as a schematic is now being projected, showing the names of Vusumuzi Ketmatala and Katiso Molefe. Khumalo said the other 3 individuals who form part of the Big Five are still being addressed, and he can't name them at this point. But the 2 of the Big Five is Ketmatala, who is in jail, and Katiso Molefe. Yo, skaxa ke ngoku. And then Khumalo addressed the disbandment of the political killings task team. He said crime syndicates form cartels. There is one named the Big Five, which has since been identified as being widespread influence, blah 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 blah. Okay, we dealt with that. And then he says, Khumalo said, main commodity of the Big Five cartels is DRUGS. There are other illicit activities, he said, before adding that this is an ongoing investigation. He used pictures of skulls to illustrate 3 of the cartel members whom he says can currently not be named. He said the Big Five has already penetrated the political sphere, and there are documented cases of high-profile connections in the political arena. Senior politicians alleged to be complicit and or willfully blind to the syndicate operations. The syndicates who form part of the cartel consist of between 2 and 12 or up to 12 members that are recruited based on their experience in terms of dealing with one of the commodities that the cartel is specializing on. In addition to DRUG trafficking, the cartel is also involved in contract killings that are associated with the DRUG trafficking processes, and the other commodity is cross-border vehicle hijacking, as well as kidnapping, tender frauding, and also the extortions that are mainly related to DRUG trafficking. Guys, after the other guy at this point, I'm coming back with another video where he speaks, and I'm like, and I will do my commentary when I'm done with all of this. Maybe I'll do a video where I do commentary thoroughly, speaking about my thoughts about the entire afternoon situation. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Do you think all of this? You know what? I'll come back with my final video when I'm done with this. Thank you so much. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye-bye.